Everybody, this is video 1.3. This is the polynomials that I'm using for grade 10 math, foundations pre-calculus. This is kind of an overview of what we've been doing. If you have not, basically, if you weren't here last semester, we did polynomials, come talk to me. I'll give you like the full booklets for practice. This is assuming that you've looked through video 1 and 2 in this section and you're pretty much ready to go. But before we do, I want to just review for addition and subtraction. And subtraction. What do you need? Yeah, like terms. Terms, remember, like terms have the same variable and the same exponent. And answer, I don't know how to put this. So it's going to be answer is also like term. So one of the things I've learned over the years is sometimes I can write the, okay, this is not the best English, not the best rule. But I can write out the rules and then I look at it like a week later and I'm like, what was I talking about? But if I go 3x plus 5x is equal to 8x, I understand they have to be x's. Oh, let's even make it squared and squared and squared. Okay, then I know these are like terms. I have to have like terms. And this is where a lot of people mess up. I need my answer is going to be in like terms too. Okay, so that's really all you need for addition. For subtraction, you need to change the sign of, I don't know, I was going to say what is being subtracted. And I'm not going to put an example because we're about to do a whole bunch. And we're also going to do stacking, right? Stacking just means putting like terms one underneath of the other. All right, so get rid of that. So on video 1, we did all the rules and then we did addition. Video 2 was subtraction. This says simplify each expression, which means gonna throw a whole bunch of stuff together. All right, so I see this first one's a negative. If you struggle, maybe the first thing you want to do is take a highlighter and I'm just gonna highlight all the subtraction questions because that's where I screw up. No, rest or plus. Just a reminder. So that means that this is going to be a negative and this is going to be a positive, however you want to write that. Because in that bracket, that to start with was a +5. Now it's a negative. So the rule is when you subtract, you add the opposites. We got to change it to the opposite. Anyway, so 7x. It was 5x, so it's now minus 5x. And we have, so that's gone. Now this negative 3x, I need the opposite. So that becomes a positive 3x squared. And there we go. So now we just add. So 7 plus minus 5 is 2x. And notice it's just plain old x. There's no change in the variable. And now we have negative 8 plus 3, so it's going to give me minus 5x squared. I'm just going to rewrite it in descending power. That's just, what's the word? Common practice. There's another phrase, but I forget it right now. So you always go down. Notice when I did that, the negative stayed with a 5. So the negative comes out front. And this 2, I need a sign in there. So it is an understood +2. And I would mark this one right, but this is all right. Okay, let's look at the next one. Okay, it's plus, so I don't have to mess around with my signs. All I need to do is stack. So I got 4x squared and I got 6x squared, so I just bring this down. That's gone. Now, I don't have any more x cubed, so I'm going to leave that alone. And I don't have another just constant, so I'm going to leave that alone. So I guess there was only one little bit to stack. 4 and 6 is 10, x squared plus 2x cubed. So this just comes down because it's all by itself, as does this one. So 2x cubed plus 10x squared minus 2. And there we go. Ta-da! I would think at this point, you can easily turn off the video, give it a nice little pause, do the work, and come back. As I say in every, I'm sure every video, if not every second video, you need to do this stuff yourself. You can't just sit there and watch me do it. You have to do the muscle memory, the brain memory, forge those neuronic? I don't think that's a word. Forge the connections between your neurons by practice, 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 practice. Practice makes permanent. You weren't expecting that, were you? I don't need perfect. I want permanent. So I don't have to teach this again in grade 12 because you'll be like, don't worry, buddy. I gotcha. I remember from last year. Okay, enough ranting. Here we go. Okay, so it's a subtract sign. So I know these are going to change. Up there, I don't know. You can do it however you want. All I'm going to do is I'm going to remember I have to change. So I got 7x. So my x over here is minus 6x. So I'm going to put plus 6x. That's going to disappear. And then this positive 5x is going to become a negative. I need the opposite. And I'm going to write it here. X cubed. Now, I was just thinking, if you want to be clever, you could write them in order to start with, but I just don't feel like being clever today. I'm just going to write them and then rewrite them. 7 and 6 is 13x. 6 minus 5 is x cubed. So plus. If you want to put the 1 in it, go ahead. You don't need it. So then x cubed plus 13x. I don't have it here, but if you're working on your own, do 2 or 3 questions, check the answer key. If you're not checking it with the video, it's probably faster to check with the answer key. Although I know you guys can fast forward me. I don't want you to do a whole page wrong because then you're building lovely stuff between your neurons that's incorrect. Sorry, ranting again. Okay, we got a plus in between. That means I don't need to mess with my signs. So I've got a 5 and I got a minus 5. So I'm going to put the minus 5 there. Boop. And then we just bring down the 7K4 under that one. So 5 and negative 5, that's going to give me 0. And 8 and 7 is 15K4. And I'm just going to write 15K to the 4th. I don't need the 0. But, okay, it's bugging me. I'm going to put a plus there just because it looked weird without it. Look at this. This is not bad. Okay. I have a plus, which means when I stack, I just stack, no changing of numbers. So I got a 1 here. If I look over here, there's a minus 7. And I got 2k squared, and I got a 2k squared. So I'm going to put 2k squared down there. And I got minus 8k. Whoops, there we go. So 1 minus 7 is minus 6. 2k and another 2k is going to give me plus 4k squared. Sorry, I should have said squared each time. And 6 minus 8 is going to be minus 2k. 4k squared minus 2k minus 6. There we go. So remember, descending order, highest exponent, down, down, down. Oh, got a negative. I'm kind of enjoying the whole highlighting of the negative signs because it's just like, for me, it's like, pay attention. Don't get silly. Pay attention. Okay, so 2. Here's my 6. Excuse me, my like term. But when I write it down here, I need to change it to a minus 6. Done. Oh, I think I ran into this in the other video, and my friend Mark is not here to ask because he's the stacking god around here. So I'm just going to put a plus here because this applies to that. So I gotta remember to change this one, even though there's nowhere to stack it. Anyway, and this -5 becomes a +5 over here. So I got 2 minus 6 is -4. And whoops, I lost an n. There we go. -4 plus 5 is going to be plus n. And then I got to bring this guy down, -2n cubed. So technically, I'm not sure this is going to clarify, but technically you can think of it as having a 0n cubed here, and then you change. I don't think that helps. Just remember, if it doesn't stack and you're subtracting, you got to change your sign. Done. Oh, look at those ones on the bottom. Don't worry, 4 is as big as my computer software can go. Oh, but it's adding, so we're just going to stack. Oh, that's 4, that's 3. It's not even matching. There are no more numbers, so nothing goes there. I've got a -7x, so -7x goes there. I have a 6x squared there, and I have a 5x to the 4th. The 2 had no friends. Down it comes. -8 plus -7 is -15x. 6, -6 and +6 is going to give me 0. I'm just going to write it kind of as a placeholder so I know I didn't forget it. I could just do that. Guess that's easier. And -3 plus 5 is going to give me +2x4. So 2x to the 4th. And I'm just going to ignore this one because it's 0 minus 15x plus 2. Remember, we need that sign in there, and that's because this sucker out there is a +2 to start with. And this is also plus. I should have given you more negatives on this practice sheet. All right. So 6, if I go through here, oh, look, there's a -6. Now, what's cool, there's also a -1 over here. If you have more than one set of brackets, or you could have, maybe there's another just plain constant in here. I don't know. Just bring them all along. Now I've got a k, and then there I've got 4k. And then here I've got 8k. I think that's why I like crossing them off, because otherwise I'm going to get confused. -7. Oh, there are no more k4s. All right. So that's okay. And then I'm going to bring this one, 8k3. Boop. Now, I got to go 6 minus 6, which is going to give me 0, and then -1. So -1. And then, oh, if you want, I'm going to put a 1 in there just because it's easier to explain. 1 plus 4 is 5, plus 8 is 13. And then I'm going to bring this guy down, 7k4. And then I've got -3 plus 8, so I'm going to get plus 5k3. And now I'm just going to make it pretty. And there we go. Ta-da! I'm hoping if you've watched all 3 of these videos, you should have this polynomial figured out. Thank you. Have a lovely day. If you want more practice, feel free to come see me because I can use my software to generate this stuff pretty easy. Thank you, and have a lovely evening.